comparison on how Radeon Settings is set up for the Vega 64 and the Radeon 7. So on the Radeon 7, you do get this nice set of flags to control how fast you want the GPU to go. By default, it's set to a frequency maximum of 1.8 gigahertz. You can also reduce the power limit minus 20% and plus 20%. And there is options, just like the Vega 64, to auto undervolt and auto overclock. Personally, when I auto overclock, my system gets overloaded and my computer restarts because it can't handle it. Auto undervolt has been hit and miss. It seems to be working at the moment with the latest VBIOS update. However, it's a bit risky. Sometimes it can restart. Personally, I like to reduce the frequency to around 1,400, and that gets me really quiet fan operation. So we're currently drawing 250, 260 watts of power. The fans have gone straight up, shooting up to 3,000 revs per minute. So it's very loud. That's 2,900 revs per minute, and we're getting 88 megahashes a second. And instead, I'm going to get the fan speed lower, so I'm going to go to 1,400. Apply, and there you go. We've dropped down to 180 watts. And 180 watts, we're getting $1.8 a day. And our mining score hash rate is 72 megahashes a second. At this frequency, the fans have dropped from 3,000 revs per minute, and they've gone at the moment to 1,800 revs per minute. So not only do we have quieter operation, we have a better efficiency. But let me just show you how Vega 64 is operated. You do instead get this power save mode, which drops the power limit to 180 watts. Balance mode, which sets the power limit to 220 watts, and turbo mode, which sets the power limit to 275 watts. Personally, I found that power save mode at 180 watts runs pretty much just as fast as even turbo mode on this card. I'm not sure why that is. It is a couple of frames slower, but it's just a couple of frames. So I'd always run it at power save mode. Even mining Bitcoin, you still get $0.99 per day, whereas in balance and turbo you only get $1.01 per day. So it's a very negligible difference pumping up to balance and turbo. You can set it to manual. You just need to set this guy up to custom first. And instead of that nice flag system that you have on the Radeon 7, you have these frequency bars depending on the state of the GPU. So you can increase or reduce the frequency percentage. You can pump it up by 30%, or you can decrease it by 14%. And you also got a power limit, and that guy you can go all the way minus 50% and plus 50%. Let's set the power limit to minus 50 and see how that is handled in Luxmark. So 120 watts, we're getting fan operation of 1,294 and a great score. This is 28,000, considering this card's maximum is 30,000. That's a really good score on Luxmark, and that's half the wattage of as usual. On the Radeon 7, if I had it set to 1,400, you can see that over here the Radeon 7 is only using 176 to 120 watts. It's just bumping up and down on those levels, so it's using even less wattage than the Vega 64. So at around 100 watts of power, you're getting a score of 42,684. And the fans were going pretty much the lowest they can go, which is 900 revs per minute. So it's a very, very silent card at that performance. The AMD X-Connect app actually allows you to see what applications are using each GPU. So we can see that Game Bar is using the Radeon 7, and Vega 64 is being used by Explorer, and we can just eject them individually. So I've just injected the Vega 64 so I can get some benchmarks going properly.